Okay, hello. Today I'm talking with Joel Roberts. He was a well-known radio host speaking to millions until a tragic accident happened and he lost his hearing. What interests me is not only what happened, but what came after that. Hello, Joel. It is
Hi,
nice
nice
to
to
have
see
you
you,
here.
Piotr.
Thank you for your time and how are you today?
I'm doing great. I'm very happy to see you, Piotr. And hello to all my friends in Poland.
Okay, Joel, let's start briefly from the accident itself. What happened and what was the impact on your hearing?
Well, we go back a little bit before that. I had been in radio for a number of years and had worked very, very hard to get into what's called prime time in the United States. And
Hmm.
I I have a genetic hearing loss, but that was not enough to make the difference. I had an accident. I was at a large event and I was subjected to the audio engineer hit the wrong button and I was subjected to a very loud noise.
Hmm.
And it took, today I'm about 60% hearing impaired. I only
My
have
God.
about 40% of normal. And unfortunately, that meant that I couldn't wear headphones 20 hours a week, 25 hours a week the way I did before because all that amplified noise irritated my nerves. So I had to reinvent myself.
Hmm. Talking about radio, tell us more. What is the prime time in the radio?
Yeah, there are two different primetime shifts. One is called morning drive, which is from 5 a.m. to 9 a.m. And the other is afternoon drive, which is 4 p.m. to 7 p.m.
Hmm.
In Los Angeles, where people commute to work on the freeways, unlike New York, where they ride the subways underground. In LA, they commute to work on the freeways, which means radio then. LA was the radio capital of planet Earth, even though New York is a larger market generally, but they're all underneath the ground on the subways, and the
Hmm.
people in LA were in their cars. So those are the two primetime shifts in Los Angeles.
Wow, you are doing, as I hear, very well in your radio career. So, what went through your mind when you realized what happened during this accident and that this is truly speaking not temporary but life-changing accident?
That's a very good question. And I'll tell you something, Piotr. The odd thing is that losing my radio career was not my biggest concern.
Hmm.
Two things happened. Number one, I lost a lot of hearing, but even that was not problem number one. Problem number one is it gave me very, very severe what's called tinnitus in
Hmm.
English. Sometimes people pronounce it tinnitus, tinnitus. Anyway, I have noise in my head because of the damage to my auditory nerves, my hearing nerves. And after the accident, it was so loud I could not hear human speech for 4 months.
My God.
And there's no cure for this. Eventually it went down and now it's up and down and up and down. So that was a bigger concern for me. I'm now very hearing impaired. I wear hearing aids. Uh, in the conversation that you and I are having right now, I have closed captions at the bottom of
Hmm.
my screen so I can make sure that I'm hearing you accurately, although I can also control the volume here. But the biggest concern that I have had was not the loss of my radio career, which was traumatic,
Hmm.
but I became half deaf and I had this noise in my head, and that was a bigger concern. And so I had to learn to live with that.
Hmm. And before the accident, how did you see yourself and what changed after that in your perspective about you?
That's a very good question because when I was on KABC radio, I had these four letters after my name. I'm
Hmm.
Joel Roberts, KABC.
Hmm.
And if I may say so, in Los Angeles, it's a very big deal to be on KABC. And it's a bigger deal to be on in prime time.
Hmm.
So that was my identity, and it was gone.
Hmm.
So I was a radio star, and suddenly I'm not a radio star anymore. So I had to think, who am I if not that person on the radio? And I've always told my clients, and this I think is really relevant today with artificial intelligence changing everything, AI is changing everything, and human work is changing. The definition of a human being is kind of, as we say in America, up for grabs. I mean, nobody really knows what to make of it anymore. What makes us human?
Hmm.
And when I realized I could not go back into radio because I can't wear headphones 25 hours a week because it irritates my nerves, I had to ask myself, who am I? And I tell our clients today, you're not your job, you're not even your career, you are a constellation or a group of talents. And I had to examine where else can I use my talents. So I say this to you because I
Hmm.
know you changed careers, and I don't know if your audience realizes. I hope you'll allow me to share with your audience that you were trained to be a lawyer.
Yes, that's true.
And being a lawyer in Poland is like being a lawyer in America. I mean, it's considered to be a very good, prestigious profession. And you walked away from it. And that takes courage because it really wasn't you. And now you're doing something which is more you. And I had to ask myself, if I'm not Joel Roberts, KABC, who am I? And I learned that I have a group of talents that can be applied to other things. And
Hmm.
that's how I survived.
Hmm.
I survived by applying my media skills to non-media arenas, business. And that's how I survived.
Hmm. Yeah, as you said, for me, moving from one career to another was something difficult, and I wonder, did you ever feel like giving up?
Yes.
Tell me more about it.
The hardest thing is the noise in my head
Hmm.
because it's still up and down. And it makes it very hard for me to sleep.
Hmm.
And I don't like taking a lot of drugs, but I take a small amount of a drug at night to help me sleep. But I love people. I'm an extrovert,
Hmm.
and it's hard to be a half-deaf extrovert because I love interacting with people, and I'm not always able to. Also, there is no cure for tinnitus. There's no
Hmm.
cure. So sometimes I become in despair about this. It can depress me, but I'm still here.
So what stops you from giving up?
You ask good questions.
Thank you.
I uh, I still love life.
Hmm.
I love people. I really love that I'm able to make a contribution to people.
Hmm.
That's very satisfying for me. And I'm still able to do that
Hmm.
in a different way.
Okay, and I wonder, what did you learn about, or what did you learn about self that you didn't know before your radio career?
Certainly that I am more than my career.
Hmm.
I am more than my job. I'm more than my career. I'm more than my work. I'm a human being.
Hmm.
And there are other elements that are at the core of my identity. And I also learned that I'm not always strong, but I have a certain something.
Hmm.
And
Yes, and mhm,
I'm not going to give up.
sure. And was there a specific moment that you felt that you can build something great again? Because, suffering, pain, and as traumatic experience as you had is something very strong. So, what was your specific like moment that you felt that you can still build something great again? Maybe moments, maybe not one moment.
I was on stage in Los Angeles
Hmm.
and I was I had led some of my own seminars, but this was a different producer that invited me to be a guest presenter on stage. And there were about three or 400 people in the audience. And I could see that I was making a difference to them. And
Hmm.
it made me feel really good. And I thought, this is fun. I want to do more of this. And so it was a very successful evening in more ways than one. And I remember it was kind of a turning point in my life when I was on that stage looking out at these three or 400 people, and I see that they're stimulated. I see that they're learning. I see that they're enjoying themselves. And I thought, I'm not dead yet.
Hmm. And what did you have to accept before you could move forward, and what did you have to let go of?
I have an incurable problem. There's no cure
Hmm.
right now. There, they do not have a cure for tinnitus.
So let me tell me more about this. How a good day look for you, for example, because from my perspective is a different perspective, but for you, how does the good day look like without pain?
There's no pain.
Okay,
It's just noise.
okay.
So a good day is a quiet day in my head, and then I can talk with people more easily. Um, a good day is when my noise is down enough so that I don't have to struggle to hear people,
Hmm.
and and I can feel like I'm contributing.
Hmm. Okay, so let's look from a wider perspective. What became more important and less important to you in your life? I mean, what is your definition of success now in comparison to before?
I think success is contribution.
Hmm.
You know, if I can help someone articulate what they do better.
Mhm.
And if as a result they can sell more or they can get a promotion or they have better relationships at work, I feel good about making a difference. I feel good about contribution. Success, what is success? You have to make a certain amount of money, but I am less money oriented than I should be. It's like we live in a nice house and I have made money, but it's not the single most important thing to me. I like I really like a sense of contribution. That's my definition of success.
Mhm. Okay. And from your perspective, what is the biggest mistake that people make when something like this happens? I mean, the major accident or something bad in your life. So from your perspective, what is the number one mistake?
It can become your identity.
Hmm.
In other words, I don't have a disease. Tinnitus is not a disease. In English, we would call it an affliction. It's it's something that affects you, but it's not like a germ. It's not like a bacterium or it's not like a virus. I don't have a disease, I have an affliction.
Hmm.
But I have it. It doesn't have me. And that is the most important thing. And sometimes I forget that. Sometimes when it gets real bad, it has me.
Hmm.
But mainly I have it. I'm the larger circle that contains it. It's not the circle that contains me. Does that make sense?
Sure, absolutely.
Yeah.
And if someone is going through a big change right now, what should they focus on first, from your opinion?
You mean like at work or personally?
Both. Something big, big
Well,
change.
I'll give you an example. Right now, because of AI, a lot of people are losing their jobs
Hmm.
and they're going to have to reinvent themselves. And this really requires them, as I said before, to look at themselves as a talent, not as a specific career or job. And if you look at yourself as a talent and you ask, where else is my talent needed?
Hmm.
I mean, here's a real irony. 10 years ago, the safest professions in the United States were computer programmers. Everybody said, I may or may not want to be a programmer, but I'm going to study computer programming because it's safe. And coding.
Hmm.
Guess what? You don't have to be a programmer or a coder anymore to get ChatGPT to write a code for you. And you can say, write a code for me that does X, Y, and Z, and it will do it. And you don't have to be a coder anymore. So this profession that was considered to be very safe, I'll use a fancy word in English and forgive me. It was considered to be invulnerable, not vulnerable.
Hmm.
It's totally vulnerable now. And they're in a state of shock because and I don't know one thing about computer programming. I'm the son of a rocket scientist and I have no technical talent. It's an irony in my case. I don't know anything about coding. I don't know anything about computer programming. But I can say to ChatGPT, write a program that looks at XYZ over the past 8 weeks and list it in terms of these priorities, and it will do it. So now, coders and computer programmers, the comparison that I read in an article the other day was they're more like architects and not like carpenters. But it's a big change. It's not easy. The world, we cannot predict right now what the ultimate result of this will be.
It's very interesting what you said about reinventing yourself, and I wonder, looking back on your career, um, you were a celebrity radio host in the past. Who are you today? What do you think? What would you say?
I really like teaching.
Mhm.
I love teaching. I love to see a light bulb go off in someone else's mind. I love to see people feel more powerful than they felt before. So I think of myself as a teacher, but also a student.
Mhm.
I love languages. Um, every different language is what I call a matrix of meaning. Um, and I love that we're able to give people new ways of thinking about themselves that open doors for them.
Okay, thank you. It was very interesting conversation. Not only what happened in your life, but what you did after that. And I wonder where people can find more information about you and learn about your work.
Joel Roberts, JoelRoberts
Mhm.
dot com.
Okay, thank you very much. Have a
Thank
nice day,
you. Thank
and
you.
thank you
You
for
too.
your time.
Thank you for your time.